You're listening to the Bantering Bohs Show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Still keeping it classical, aren't you?
Huh?
Still keeping it with the
Do you want
classics.
Jack Bauer back?
No, we're good.
He wants Jack Bauer back.
No, we're good.
Wait.
No. We've already gone into it. You're deep into it.
Huh? Wait, Jack's back. But then again, he might be back with 24. Might be back without him. Didn't you hear?
Oh, good. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, sorry, Jack. You got the boot, buddy. Yeah.
Don't worry,
because that's how Fox rolls.
Don't worry, he's gonna be in Metal Gear Solid 5.
He's gonna be replaced by Joe Buck.
Oh God.
Oh dear.
And then his faithful sidekick, Troy Aikman. Yeah, that ought to be good. Quite a catch, wasn't it, Joe? Why, yes, it was. Assholes.
The puns.
Yeah. Well, enough of that. Let's let's banter about something else more, fun. JR, it's your pitch.
All right, guys. Well, as our listeners out there know, we're all on the fitness bandwagon of sorts, trying to get ourselves svelte and swole and
we'll go
ready
to pub. You up?
No discount double checks here. No question about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been trying to amp up my cardio a little bit more. That's more or less though for my obstacle course racing I'm doing this year, but that's here nor there. So I took a course by the name of Body Combat at Gold's Gym Tuesday morning.
I remember watching a video called Body Combat. Didn't turn out the way I wanted it to.
The girls never came. Damn. So the banter is this. Ladies, if you see a guy walk into a cardio-based class of any kind, be it a spin class, be it a Zumba class, be it a yoga class, or be it a class like this for an hour of basically pretending to kick the crap out of yourself in the mirror with using the punch-kick combinations and whatnot on crack, we're not here to try pick you up or stare. I mean, granted, yeah, you're wearing yoga pants. We're going to stare. Just tell your butt to stop making our eyes stare at it.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to make it so obvious.
So in other words, you walked in there and then all of a sudden...
Oh my God, a male.
If not...
It's him.
He's going to horn dog us the entire time.
If not... That's pretty much how I felt. I mean, if not for like the moms that were there and like the older ladies like, oh hi, is this your first time in this course and all that? Like I felt so uncomfortable. It was like, you remember in Animal House when they all walk into the club to see Otis and it's just they're the only white guys in the whole place.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's how I felt. Just open the door. We're going to die. They're going to kill me and roll me in the parking lot. This is amazing. So, but yeah, girls just, we're going to stare at you in those pants, but we're not all here just to oogle you. We might actually want to work out, for God's sakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't judge a book by its cover, son.
No.
I'll take you to lunch or Gatorade after the class.
Yeah,
as long as I can still stand.
Exactly.
And deep down, James is thinking,
hold on to your butts.
They look so good.
Yeah. So, alrighty. Ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Do it.
This is the Bantering Bohs Show. Brian Thomas, the movie buff. From movie news and reviews to the most useless movie facts you don't need to know. Brian is the true connoisseur of Hollywood. Brad Beals, the video game guru. From the latest trending gaming reviews to highlights of the best games you're not playing. There's a reason we call him Game Genie. James Revere, the sports fanatic. From game recaps to stats to insight on the latest sports controversies. Move over, Bob Costas. JR will run you over. And now, here are your hosts, the Bohs.
Oops. Refreshing.
Radio edit.
Remix.
Dusty. There it is.
There it is. Welcome, everyone, to the Bantering Bohs Show, the show where we recap the latest news and hot topics in sports, video games, and movies, and then banter about them. Happy Thirsty Thursday, everybody.
Whoop, whoop.
Dr. Pepper in the house. Still no sign of Jameson.
Doctor.
Jimmy, or anything like that. Either way, though, for those of you that are kicking back, enjoying some cold ones, hats off to you. This bud's for you, not for us. Our show today is brought to you by the Bantering Bohs Amazon page. Yeah, you know what, guys? Like, you ever heard of the guy named Crazy Eddie? I'm not talking about the Crazy Eddie that used to be down in Salisbury on a radio station I work for. I'm talking about the Crazy Eddie that's all the way in California and slashes prices. Because you know what? That's what
Eddie, I'm slashing prices.
That's what Amazon is doing right now. How about this? An Amazon Fire HD6 for what was $99, now $84.
$15 off?
Or you can just skip that and just go for John Wick.
Dude, it's there.
Sold. Bottom line, if you really want to help support our show, then do all your shopping through the Bantering Bohs Amazon page. Just click on the Amazon banner at thebanteringbohs.com. It's so easy that the broads at the body pump class can do it.
You would think so.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Scary broads.
I said that. That's why I never go back to yoga, just because of that. Just because I don't want to be,
Yeah,
all
how was
places.
that? You did that before.
I did it twice, yeah.
And still, you got the eye the whole time?
Maybe at first, but then it's just like, I just can't keep up with these ladies with the positions. You were like
you were trying to be in the beginner class, but they were completely like in the advanced intermediate. They're like catch up.
It's always the free class, mind you, on Sunday morning at like 8 o'clock. So you would think nobody would really be there.
No,
everybody was
there.
I sat in the back corner, and then I had to stand against the wall just because I didn't want to like fall over each time, which I pretty much did. So that's why I was like,
Gotta
done.
get more limber.
Yeah, go back to weights. Yep. So anyway, welcome back, everybody, boys.
Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just chill.
Yeah. Just kind of chill.
It's one of those kind of nights,
Uneventful week.
Well, one thing happened, but it was a
It's
thing.
crap.
Yeah.
It really was. Yeah.
It was a thing, but you don't really want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
All right, show's over. Time to go.
Huh? So there really is no sports this week, is there?
Peace out, Shepton for president. I'm out, y'all.
And he's out the door, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
James has left the building.
What's that, James? You had a thought?
Mic drop.
You had no, I had a thought. Okay. Now we can go. Okay.
It's a
Now I feel
stinker.
better.
And speaking of Jim Nance and Bob Costas, let's talk a little bit of football here.
Yeah, let's talk about...
This is the last time you can probably hear this for this whole entire podcast, if I can help it.
Until next year.
No, if I can help it in general.
Okay.
Super Bowl 49.
Softball.
Otherwise known as...
S-hole.
Turd Burglar Central.
Yeah.
Goodell sucks a big box of Kraft.
Where was Waldo anyway? I couldn't find him in there.
Somewhere hidden on the
I
sidelines.
don't know. Hopefully hiding somewhere away from all the laser sights and scopes that were on top of the roof. Cracky bastard he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, for us... I'm not ashamed to admit, for the sports guy who's supposed to pay attention to this, I think I watched collectively 3.5 minutes of the whole entire
That a boy.
Oh, there you go.
Had no interest whatsoever in it. I was more on a mission
How
to collect...
could you, though? I mean, really?
I was more on a mission to collect all the data clusters in Saints Row 4. Brad will get on that.
Even if I knew what that was, I'd still agree with you.
Actually, I
on
did that originally on the 360.
Yeah, I don't believe I just finished that today. I don't even believe it. But, so yeah, I tuned in at halftime as I was actually really, really hoping for Katy Perry to just kind of lift up my spirits. Just to her big, huge personality to really draw me in. Yeah, she let me down more than the NFL did in general.
Right in on that.
Was it all right? What let you down? Because this kind of counts as the sports report. But was it her outfits or just her performance?
I mean, she put on a decent show. I mean, I felt like it was a bad acid trip with the dancing sharks and bees. Which, by the way, left shark for MVP. Just saying.
Some say that it could have been Snoop Dogg or John Mayer.
John Mayer.
Could have been anybody in that damn thing. Might have actually been Bob Costas.
No,
No.
he was too busy on his knees.
Oh.
Getting some more of that pink eye.
More like the stink eye, James.
It just writes itself. Anyway, but yeah, it's, it was disappointing. You think Katy Perry, you're thinking some big-time cleavage coming out.
But you don't think Missy Elliott.
That was way out of left field.
It really felt like 1994 all over again.
Is that how far she goes back?
I don't even remember.
I don't know.
I thought it was late 90s.
It was late 90s.
She had maybe one or two songs I really remember.
And that's the only two that they played.
She had a good run, and then just kind of seemed to just disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing you remember was that weird little girl who danced better than most full-aged black dudes and whatnot, but she's become a fox.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, it was. Yeah. I counted on Katie to bring my interest to the game, and all I thought about was the Power Rangers with that interest.
It jumped around too. It was like okay, we're doing Power Rangers. Now we're getting down real quickly with
White Tiger Saberzord, go! So, but after that point, I tried to tune in. One bright spot I will say is Chris Matthews for the not for CNN on the hot seat or whatnot. It was the young receiver from Seattle. Had never caught an NFL pass in his young career until the Super Bowl, and he goes for 4 catches, 109 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But then Belichick puts a taller cornerback on him, and he disappears.
Yeah.
And for those of you who didn't watch it, you are the lucky few, so let me go over it again. 24-21... Or no, it's 28 to 24. Seattle's got it. Minute left in the end zone, right there, 1 yard line. You've got the best running back in all of football who averages over 5 yards a carry. And Pete Carroll decides to throw a pass.
A short pass.
New England Patriots intercept it right there in the end zone. Game is over. The New England Patriots win the Super Bowl 28-24.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it also ended with a fight.
Oh, yeah, there were some punches thrown. Gronkowski on Jimmy Kimmel the other night. That was kind of funny. I was like, dude, I'm pretty sure you threw a couple left hooks. Like, no, Roger, that wasn't me, man. Good job, that wasn't me. Rob, I hate to tell you, but because your name's not Marshawn Lynch and because you play for the Patriots, you won't get any discipline on you whatsoever. But don't get me started on that banter. That could take an entire show. I will say social media has stepped up big time on Pete Carroll's wonderful behalf of the worst decision in all NFL history.
Give the MVP to Brady.
What
the hell did he do? Why? He didn't do anything.
Yeah, he did. He intentional grounding twice.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he did. Yeah, he intentional ground twice, but got away with it.
Because it's a Bob Kraft boy.
Yep. Here's an MVP.
I think my favorite was somebody actually went up to Pete Carroll before the Super Bowl and just said,
what were we doing before this?
Mr. Carroll, do you want to win the Super Bowl today? And he said, no, I'll have to pass. Sorry, cheesy one-liner. But yeah, extremely horrible decision-making all around. Bad game to watch. Patriots are horrible. Tom Brady's gay. Need we say more? Not really.
The NFL, you can cheat. When you cheat, you get to win the Super Bowl.
As long as your owner is best friends with the commissioner. And actually, I will address one thing. One of my favorite correspondents to watch in regards to sports is Rachel Nichols of CNN, formerly of ESPN, who used to be a part of the Sunday morning countdown. She actually had an interview on CNN with Roger Goodell, and point blank asked him, how do you feel you can do your job in regards to these investigations and allegations to teams if you are such close friends with the owners in question? He sidestepped that question so much and basically tried to drag her through the mud and sully her name as a reporter. Did not have the balls or the spine to actually stand up and say, yeah, you know what, you're right. I should have done it this way. I should have done it that way. Had a chance to gain credibility for an absolute horrendous year of PR for the NFL. And all he could care to do was just make her feel like shit.
Yeah, and to basically just belittle and resort to low blow tactics.
Luckily, though, all of the NFL was watching, and he got absolutely crucified on social media.
Good. It's not going to do anything. But
anybody and everybody from every news outlet around the country just absolutely tore him a new one.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit of sweet justice for people like us, but it's been an absolute sham just watching this man do his job this year. So thankfully, the season's over, and we can actually start paying attention to the other things, which is Ravens off season.
Mm-hmm. I got a message for Seattle, and this is to the coach and to the players.
You have failed this city.
What? That was one more time. It's for Russell Wilson and whoever else decided on that. I would let it go. Whatever. Okay. I don't give a damn.
Could have just gone with a nice big old fat. You blew it.
That would be way better instead of me wasting my time looking for that. But whatever.
But NFL season's over. Goodell, Kraft, Brady, they should all go have a nice gay honeymoon somewhere together. Go make themselves into their own version of a human centipede for all I care. Anyway,
You blow it.
There's Robert. And love you, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. Updates on the latest police blotter. Don't worry, you don't have to go into the theme.
Oh, yes, I do. You're damn right I do. Go ahead. Anyway, though.
Terrence Cody has been officially indicted by the state of Maryland for 15 counts of animal cruelty.
Damn.
Neglectfully not feeding the dog correctly or giving him any veterinary care, taking after him in any way, shape, or form, and also illegally importing a 2-foot alligator into the country and failing to give it a proper living space or adequate care.
Dude, what you got in the backyard? Oh, dude, it's a gator.
Hey, he's an NFL player. They have money to burn, I guess.
Fair.
I don't know how much money.
He's kind of like Mike Tyson. He just has the tiger.
Just has the tiger. Yeah.
There's the idea for Hangover 4. We're going to go steal this guy's gator.
Oh, God, that'll fall down. Whose gator are we stealing? Terrence Cody. Who? Journeyman D lineman who's out of a job. Crap. So that's the latest for him. Former Raven Michael Orr. We all remember how bad he was for us.
But his mom's so hot.
Sandra Bullock as his mom, yes.
Yeah.
His mom in general, no.
Well, I'd picture her as Sandra Bullock.
Sister, on the other hand, yeah, we could talk about that. He's fallen when the Tennessee Titans hand him his walking papers today.
Ouch.
Michael Orr, released by the Tennessee Titans. I think he needs to go with a business degree for one of the Tui's many fast food restaurants, wherever they're from, because he's got no chance of making it if that team cuts him. Juicy rumor on the offseason report for wide receivers. Brandon Marshall, number one Pro Bowl, All-Pro, stud number one receiver, really hit it off with Ravens' new offensive coordinator, Mark Trestman, during his time as head coach in Chicago. And actually, as recently as a few days ago on Inside the NFL, was talking about his chance to interview John Harbaugh during the Super Bowl and said, hey, if I came to play for you and Mark Trestman, would you guys mind if I still did one at my appearances here on Inside the NFL? Harbaugh was quoted as saying, if you're in my uniform and you do what you're capable of, I could care if you have your own Broadway show. Wow. So the cap situation in Baltimore is a little tight right now, but with some restructuring and whatnot.
Now playing at the Hippodrome.
Brandon Marshall and his one-man show. Rumors are starting to look a little more credible. Could be Brandon Marshall on one side, Steve Smith on the other. Don't know if Torrey Smith will be back, though.
You've talked about this before, so that's why I didn't buy my Torrey Smith jersey.
Reports surfaced just in the middle of the week before the season started. The Ravens offered him a 5-year, $35 million contract with $19 million guaranteed, and he turned it down.
What did he really... I mean, we all love Torrey in Baltimore, but what did he really do so much as this season, almost? I mean... Not
much. His career... This was his career low for receptions. He did
Is it because Steve Smith Sr. is in town and just Joe likes passing to him better? I mean,
well, the problem is
the
problem is with the West Coast offense when it comes
West Coast.
West Side, East Side, Shook Knight. It must be the 90s. He's in jail again. West Coast offense favors the slot receiver, which is where Steve Smith likes to play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Torrey Smith on the outside, he's generally just the decoy to get all the over-the-top help distracted on his side. Smith reaps the benefits. You saw that firsthand.
Yeah. Right.
So for 5 years, $35 million, that is more than adequate for a number 2 receiver that doesn't really perform that well, doesn't have the best hands, and can't really run anything else on the route tree other than a go route and a deep cross. Hey, if he finds a better deal and somebody overpays, which they will, more power to him. Thanks for your time. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
You snotty little bastard.
I'm sorry, I am.
Let's talk about him, not you.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
He claims to be it's not about the money, but...
We turned down. You okay?
You're an athlete. Shut up. It worked for Flacco. Didn't work for you, buddy. Sorry.
I just like
Joe
to
took
play
all the money.
ball.
Should have kept the dreads. That's all I'm saying. So that's...
They're using it for the next Predator sequel.
Didn't you hear? That's Marshawn Lynch. Because to quote Arnold, you an ugly so-and-so, aren't you? Outside of that, though, it is... Spring training is only 15 days away. Pitchers and catchers reports. Not a really whole lot of news going on, but there's been a lot of minor transactions. Steve Lombardozzi acquired him last year, but fell out of favor with Buck. He was traded to the Pirates for cash considerations. We've got 96 catching prospects in our organization, so we traded one of them to the Cardinals for cash considerations as well. Could potentially be Dan Duquette looking to make a move or two more. The last big name acquisition out there is James Shields. Totally would be the number 1 starter here in Baltimore. So keep an eye out. It's a long shot, but it could happen.
Okay.
So, but
you made it over to Fan Fest too, didn't you?
yeah, got some.
Anything you report over that, or
I mean,
I've never been to Fan Fest, so I've always heard good things about it.
It was a fun time. A lot of free giveaways, handouts, and stuff. You really have to pay attention to where you're walking because you never know who will walk by. I mean,
Right.
Jim Hunter walks right by me. I kind of accidentally bump him. I'm like, oh my. Thank you. Hey, good luck this year. And all
Yeah.
that. And,
Yeah.
there's a claw machine giving away stuff. I swear 2 people before me picks up a baseball in the claw machine, and it says Adam Jones autograph bat. So this guy's just, hey, picture.
Hey.
Walks away. I was like, if only I was good at the claw machine.
Yeah.
So, but,
okay.
it's just really... It was really refreshing to see, though, when you think of most teams, like maybe the Yankees or something, they're kind of a little, we're too sophisticated and highbrow.
We shave our faces, and that's not all.
I'm pretty sure they shave something else.
Yeah.
We have fans, of course. We have fans.
We're the Yankees. But
We got calzones. Go get me a calzone.
Did you put a liver in the mailbox? Because I heard it was a liver in the mailbox. But
There was some good calzones with that, George.
Jerry, that's it. What's the deal with working for the Yankees, George? What's the deal with that? But just seeing how kind of laid back and how much fun this team still has now that we're a winner.
Yeah.
Well, they've always been like that, though, too. Well, even at the Fan Fest? No, maybe
Always
not.
been very appreciative.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. Before Buck came to town, they used to have Fan Fest just on the club level of the stadium. That's how low the turnout was.
Okay.
And they had over 16,000 people there just for one day.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
a little bit crowded, a little bit elbow room, but it's fun. Got some good pictures. Put that up on our. Pretty sure I put them up on our site.
Yeah.
But no real big news that came out of there anyway. But
I will add this real quick. Sorry to cut in. Is it wrong? I sent you guys the picture of what I tweeted that I'm done with the NFL. Going back to that.
I would wait and see how the offseason happens.
I don't know, man. Everything that's happened in this season, okay? You I mean, I don't know what happened.
Like I feel you definitely.
Yeah, at the end, just
it.
like even going back to the whole Ray Rice thing. Okay, I'm not blaming the Ravens for that. Okay, because they didn't get a chance to see the video, but seeing as Goodell probably did, or just decided to just kind of brush it off. And is Ray Rice going to come back to play? That is going to happen, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
not with us.
So you're going to let a guy who physically assaulted his girlfriend or wife, and on video, you're letting him come back. And in addition to that, just supporting cheaters, and just letting him go, because let's face it, the cheaters won, and that's what they're teaching everybody out there, especially kids who look up to these guys as role models.
I mean, they let Michael Vick back in, so
dog fighting, so it's kind of hard to support that.
The cheating, definitely.
Yeah,
even though they haven't gotten caught, doesn't matter.
This is 2 or 3 times.
Another stat actually came out during the whole Deflategate saga, which I thought was interesting. I think it's going back almost 7 or 8 years since the max PSI or minimum PSI thing was implemented. Mm-hmm. The Patriots have the fewest fumbles lost in the NFL since that time. So you're just kind of... Really?
When you look at the numbers, they don't lie.
Yeah.
But, I mean, in regards to the whole Ray Rice coming back thing, though, and all that, I mean, dude, Dante Stallworth killed a guy with his car driving drunk.
No,
He came back.
Yeah.
Plaxico Burress shot himself in the genitals, did some time in jail. He was allowed back.
Yeah.
I'd feel sorry for the guy anyway. But, I would hold off on completely jumping ship from football until you see how the offseason goes.
Maybe it's just, I don't know.
Because you never know. He may have a miracle offseason and just kind of, I'm going to step down because I'm a stupid child and that guy's going to take over and everything goes away. Mm-hmm. Or it just might be, I don't have to explain to you people. I make $20 billion a year. What do you do?
And I'm a puppet.
Basically.
Puppet for 32 old.
See, they did bring Crank Yankers back. It's just in the form of NFL edition. That's all.
I knew Goodell reminded me of special ed.
All right.
But yeah, that was the uneventful week that was in sports. I feel so. It's like an oxymoron, sports guy that didn't watch the Super Bowl. Oh, well, who cares?
Oh, well.
Speaking of Saints Row, Brad, what was up with those games this week?
Ooh, let me tell you, boy. Actually, it's getting around that time where it's like, okay, trying to find out, what do we got going on? Ooh, controversy. Let's stick with that. But before we get to that, at least we did find out, especially with the upcoming Battlefield Hardline coming out on March 17th, the open beta is out there right now at the time of recording this. So the Battlefield Hardline open beta is on from...
Looks,
yeah.
I didn't even... I mean, all right, let me rephrase that. Anything else other than to download it?
It's basically for all systems as far as I know. Xbox One.
Ready when you are.
Xbox 360, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3 from February 3rd through the 8th. So you actually have, in times of recording this, you've got 3 days left to play it.
I believe it's time to download when I get home.
Exactly.
Ooh.
So you can at least try it out and see what has changed and see like, oh, hey, cops and robbers into L.A., but Battlefield. Why not? So at least we get to try it out.
Just give us the rundown of everything we can do in this game, if you don't mind again.
As far as
overall,
they're going to probably
cops and robbers.
Do the cops and robbers.
You can probably steal police cars.
You'll be doing more like armor truck heists. They'll probably do that. It's kind of like a capture the flag almost scenario, twist on that, and do the usual, probably team deathmatch as usual. But again, the bank heist thing is going to be the main. I forget the actual name for the scenario for that, but it's going to be similar to that regards. And then everybody else is going to be trying out the different weapons, trying to get get their montages in there of like sniping from rooftops. I can't remember if they took out the zip lines in there as well, or if the baseball bats are still in, but. Oh, God, it was hilarious seeing those people trying to play those videos where it was a bunch of. You'd have like a group of guys, like 4 cops, just like. Bum rush one of the robbers and just like hit him with the tase gun and just go up and start beating him with baseball bats. You hear him go, "Get on the ground!" So yes, you can do that as far as I know. So have fun with that, especially. Awesome. We did find out that Sony Online Entertainment was actually sold by Sony this week to investment firm Columbus Nova, if I'm not mistaken, has now been renamed Daybreak Game Company. Sony Online Entertainment is best known for being the company behind especially EverQuest, PlanetSide 2, DC Universe Online, and the recent controversial, if you want to call that, H1Z1, which is the open world zombie survival game that was released on Steam Early Access that had the controversy.
I paid for that drop, damn it.
Yeah, that game. So Sony is now dropping them and sold them off. So now they're going to be working independently by themselves, and they're excited because now they can start working on different platforms. They're excited to be looking more like Xbox games as well. So maybe moving more of the franchises over to different systems. So if you see EverQuest on Xbox, hey, why not try it out? So
Yeah.
Or as we called it in high school,
crack, because it was basically crack, and people would disappear.
Has
for
anybody
weeks at a
seen
time.
Doug?
People would disappear. For
He's on
months at
that
a time.
Evercrack again.
Damn it. Remember, kids, before there was World of Warcraft, there was a game called EverQuest. EverQuest.
God, yeah.
Basically.
That long.
And the funny thing is actually World of Warcraft came because of EverQuest. It was actually created by main guys playing the game. Were like, hey, you know what would be good if the game actually did this, and there you had World of Warcraft. And that's how you get adolescent virginity.
And then stock and Cheetos just shot right up.
And then that was the day a lot of divorce lawyers said, I'm going to get paid.
They're the days of AOL, actually.
Oh god, yeah.
ASL.
Actually, no, 2000. Yeah, this is back when. Yeah, EverQuest, when you actually played on a 56K modem, and then World of Warcraft came out on 2004, and it was like, oh, broadband. World of Warcraft, the original purity ring.
I need an Instagram with that on that as a quote immediately.
Make it so.
Oh, get it done, sir. Get it done. Apparently, especially with the recent release of Dying Light, a mod, unfortunately, was taken down by a notice. It was actually a mistake by the Entertainment Software Association. Apparently, a 523-bit file was removed, which removes the always active film grain effect, especially during the game, was taken down when originally it wasn't supposed to. This was due to a latest patch. Originally, this was thought that it was a cheat mod placed into the game, that people were thinking like, oh, they can cheat for this for the PvP aspect, when they had to come back and say, no, sorry, we realized that was a bad. So yeah, you can mod our game, and Techland, the developers of Dying Light, reissued the fact that they really want to support modding for the game and like that to go into effect. But this whole incident that went down was not how it was planned, just unfortunately. So, but there is a mod out there if you want to remove the film grain effect to give it a little bit better, clarity to it. Again, this is for the PC release of the game, so I don't know if they have for an Xbox though, but be an interesting fact. Because I know you have it right now, James, and have you been enjoying it so far? Since I've seen the reviews right now, and they're all around like the 6.5 or like 6.8 range, like give or take.
I got to agree with it, because it was when it first, you first jumped into the gameplay and stuff, and I was like, well, I can see that these people used to work exclusively with the Dead Island people.
Well, made by the same guys, yeah.
But the way that they build and develop that tension as the day slowly becomes night. And it gets pitch black. You're trying to parkour all over these roofs and cars and everything else.
And that's when you got...
is the little flashlight, and you hear all the groans and growls and shuffling. And at night, the zombies come even more aggressive, too. Dude, I was loving every second of that. Like, first time I played a game where I was like, holy shit. Oh my God, I'm in trouble.
Now, of course, I do want to ask you, because I remember playing Dead Island. I remember actually being very... just disgusted for some reason. Like, I hated it. Especially it was the way the mechanics of the game worked in regards to the leveling up system. And with Dead Island, enemies scale to your level. And I found that completely undermines the whole level up system in the game. Because it was like, oh, hey, I leveled up from 6 to 7. All right. Now that zombie is...
All the zombies are 10 and 11.
Are now even more powerful. And it made, to me, no sense. Because, like, okay, so this... level 5 hatchet that I've been using now takes 10 more swings to kill him with, and is now broken, and I have to use money to repair that. Why am I using money to repair a weapon? And of course, I wonder if any of that has been rectified with Dying Light.
Yeah, the thing so far has been really having to kind of do two games at once, where it's avoiding zombie detection using little signal flares and firecrackers and stuff, but scavenging as well, because it's no longer a money system of upgrading your weapons,
but it's just finding the items,
scavenging your a metal part here, metal part there. Oh, hey, I reinforced this table leg so it won't break as quick or something.
Why?
But I don't need money to repair it or station. I can just do that on the fly.
As I've experienced so far, I haven't. I'll admit I've still been kind of Saints 4ing pretty heavy.
Hey, man, that's fine. I mean,
but from what I've got so far, it's just been more of a, oh, sweet, I got that. Okay, it's done.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's one concern I've had with it, and I definitely do want to play it, but I'm just kind of at odds seeing the recent scores of it because they finally came out with the reviews, and they're like, yeah, it's around like a 7 out of 10. I'm like, isn't that the same you gave for Destiny? But
Destiny, you money pit.
Yeah, but new Zelda, again, the re-release of Majora's Mask. No, that's a 9 out of 8. That's a 9.8 out of 10. Done. We're good. I'm like, what Zelda game? What can you expect?
Yeah.
So it's going to be high
When have they never given a Zelda game a good rating? Yeah.
I will easily tell you that is going way back to the Philips CDI games, if I'm not mistaken. That is on a system that no longer exists. This was around the time that you can find these easily on the internet. The YouTube videos alone that destroy and you go back are hilarious. Right around the time when the PlayStation 1 was coming out, there was a
Philips, and then there's the 3DO. I think
3DO, and there was like a bunch in there.
I never heard of these, but maybe now I know why.
Because they just never they didn't get off the ground. Yeah, well, the 3DO had some decent games. There were a lot of
3DO.
I remember
Neo Geo.
Another reject droid for the new Star Wars
movie. Crazy on that game.
3DO, Neo
3DO.
Geo. Yeah. It was around the time where it was just like, hey, everyone's trying to get onto the CD game bandwagon because that's going to be the new model of technology to work. Yeah. So Philips being the latest version, and Nintendo wanted to get into the system because Nintendo actually passed on PlayStation's technology. So they went with Philips, and they licensed.
Brilliant!
Yeah, so they licensed out Zelda. And we get Wand of Gamelon and, I forget what the other horrible name is, but YouTube has it up there. And it is an atrocity of a game developed with Russians.
Oh, there you go.
The cartoons alone are cringe-worthy YouTube gold. And trust me, the internet, especially on YouTube, has drag this thing through the mail. I mean, you've seen enough montages of going, my boy, I feel so hungry, I could eat an Otterok. Oh, for the love of God, the voice acting. Yeah, I think that's the low point of...
but still, for a game that's been around so long, it's got a pretty good track
It's got enough
record.
pedigree behind it that it's that's just the black sheep. You just put that in the back there along with the Virtual Boy. Speaking of also Nintendo, going along with continuing to the reports of my report last week with the Nintendo's shared revenue program, apparently they have been flooded with applications, and it's going to be a delay to responding to that because they've been overwhelmed with the amount of applications coming in to get into this program. Despite all the major YouTubers out there and the big ones, I'm calling out especially PewDiePie himself, the most subscribed one on YouTube, Total Biscuit, and Jim Sterling saying, this is a horrible program. Do not get into it. And I'm going to break it down, refreshing to it. If I'm not mistaken, let me get this right, how Total Biscuit explained it from a financial standpoint. He looked at it from the individual. If you were part of this program, on average, if you do a YouTube video, let's say, straight out the bat, how it breaks down in percentages wise. You make a video and you monetize it. Off the bat, if you make profit on it, 50% of that profit immediately goes to Google because it's on their service. That's just straight off the bat.
Right.
Now, most people and the well-known people are usually in a partnership, like on there, like Polaris, Machinima, stuff like that. You make that. So you have the resources of them that can work to you being a YouTuber, financial, publicity, especially logistics as well, like law. If you need to get in touch with the law and how it works, especially copyright and stuff, and they can take care of DMC Clays and all that stuff. So right off the bat, on average, apparently that's 30%. So out of that 50% that you're getting, 30% is already being taken out and taken to your is being given to your partnership. Then from that leftover that you have, working with Nintendo again under this program, let's say you just make a video just on Nintendo content, they're going to take out. You get 60%, they get 40%. So from that, originally 50 taken down and 30 taken out. Now 40% of that remainder is now being taken out and given to Nintendo. So you are now taking more money out for that. Yeah, from a financial standpoint, it's not a good one.
I made $2.
Basically, I think it was like something. I think Total Biscuit listed as like if you make $100, you end up getting like $22 out of it. It's not financially sound.
Hey, Mario.
Basically, give a little bit more coins in there. Yeah.
Go fix a toilet, you plumber.
And you're also restricted to whatever games they list on their whitelist. And not only that, if you're going to stick exclusive to Nintendo, which seems really hard to do since Nintendo's good games come out sporadically and it's just, on a long basis. So when you have the PC, form, that it is, and you can expand upon other games that are out there and vast, expansive games that are on not only Steam, but heck, people even do download like the indie games. I know, especially if you go to one site out there, Game Jolt. It's a free games, indie games like hosting site. So indie developers that want to put out their game, want to get out there and want to just try it out. Game Jolt, they put it up there. It's free to download. It is legitimate as all hell. There's some good ones on there. There's also some bad, but they look to promote good games out there. Actually, hilarious. The funniest one that I know on there right now is one of the some YouTubers use is just troll bait. Pokemon Uncensored. That game is hilarious, but also really bad, and it's free. I don't care. But yeah, again, especially Total Biscuit has put out there, saying from a financial standpoint here, it's how it's bad. Jim Sterling goes into the clauses, especially of like how the wording is and like what's allowed and what's not allowed. It tells you it's not really good. And PewDiePie, being the biggest one out there saying, Nintendo, you don't get it. We love your games. We support your games. And this is free publicity if you let us do our job. Many companies play ball. Why are you not?
Because, like James said last week, they're going under. They're about to,
They want to make every money. And
Save us!
And companies that like have tried before will get called out, and they've said like, okay, our bad, we'll play ball. And they've accepted that. They've accepted the fact that YouTube, as it has become right now, and more social media outlets can promote sales. Even if your game is around, even if it's not like a good score game, even bad games, like horribly bad games, still will sell well because even if they get YouTube exposure, people will say like, oh, it's funny because I want to play it because of that silly glitch that I saw or this experience. Or hell, they even buy it as like a joke for their friend and send it to him and be like, ha, you got bad rats. Good luck with that.
If they're not talking about it, then,
It's again, PR. That's how you work it. And Nintendo, and again, this is looking at Nintendo Japan. I called you out on that one. Height. Yeah, looking at it and just sees it as like, they're copyrighting our game. We do not want that.
Toyota, Sony, sashimi.
So, yeah, unfortunately.
Because 2% of our listeners.
And they're all gone. God damn it.
Like that.
I was trying to get that deal for Smash Brothers, and it's all over. All right, trying to find me a one-up here. What can I say? Moving
Find
on.
you a peach, though.
I'm still waiting on that damn
She's in
cake.
another castle.
Zing. But looking, we did find out, especially a new upcoming Warhammer game. Apparently, Warhammer End Times revealed to be for PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4 to be a first-person co-op, first-person shooter with melee elements, especially in there. So a lot of melee combat from a first-person perspective. This is going to be set in the End Times universe of Warhammer, and kind of like an almost Left 4 Dead style of Warhammer, because Warhammer especially has got a huge universe and story backing behind it, and big fan base to that, and especially like why not make use of that and actually do its first-person element roots? So. Stick with that and do that. See, there's a trailer out there right now on YouTube to check it out. Again, Warhammer End Times. Not going to say it, looking pretty good. So hopefully we'll see better things with that down the pipeline. So keep an eye out for that.
Alrighty.
And on to the controversy of the week, especially with this. This happened actually today. They actually had to correct it. But there was controversy over and I'm hoping I'm getting this pronounced correctly, the Garena Philippines decision. Now, this is a gaming, what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry for stalling. But a gaming, what are the people that do the tourneys? Like the organizations, the like rules organizations, I want to say?
League? Team?
League. I guess the league rules are like organization that oversees the tournaments. They set up the tournaments and set up. But the Garena Philippines decision to include only one lesbian, bisexual, or transgender female on the upcoming all-female tournament, Iron Solari tournament. Yeah. The Iron Solari is a...
Sorry, that was the Katy Perry kitty back there.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
The Iron Solari is a all-female League of Legends tournament upcoming in the Philippines. And immediately after hearing this response, again, the reasoning to decide this, saying that there can only be one on per team, was saying that if they had more, it would be given an unfair advantage to the team. To which many responded, how? Because you play video games, in a sense? How can someone who is either is a lesbian, bisexual, or transgender, what does that biologically, if you want to count it, in your decision-making, alter their ability to play video games better? Because as far as I know, it doesn't. And I've never seen any proof to prove it that. And again,
unless they're Bruce Jenner, then everything will be A-okay. Am I right?
I was going to say, let's consult our expert, Bruce.
Yeah, so immediately after, their reasoning for this rationale, Riot Games, the makers of League of Legends, issued a statement saying, hey, all lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender games and gamers, you're all accepted and invited to any official League of Legends tournaments. So Riot Games is like stepping away, but saying like, okay, Garena Philippine, we're not agreeing with that, and we made the game you're hosting a tournament for.
Bruce Jenner and all the guys from BronyCon.
So immediately today, as breaking news, they have actually repealed and reevaluated their decision and have allowed basically an open door policy to those who are lesbian, bisexual, or identify themselves as a woman. I mean transsexual. So you are allowed on the tournament if you want to. And, it should, because again, right now, tournaments, especially in the eSports market, is you have open invitation and female only, usually how it is. Because when it comes to video games and you try to, especially in the eSports market, and everybody does like, well, why don't you be like sports? Well, why? I mean, you have like the NBA and you have the WNBA and they're separate. But in eSports, there's nothing biological difference really, so... You can let them play.
That's the best part about video games. It doesn't discriminate.
Exactly, or open. Yeah, you would hope, but after being basically, ran through the muck with social media, and this spread like wildfire, basically. A day later, they're like, "Yeah, we messed up on that. So yeah, if you want to play, go right ahead," and as it should be. So.
Forgiven us, please.
So good news to hear, especially about that. And again, as it should be, as eSports try to do it, and again, it's big in the Asian market, especially. We're trying to move it over here in the West, but of course, it's going to take a while, and it's a very niche market as it is. So, but still, more power, especially to the gamers out there, because it doesn't matter who you are. We're all gamers. We play games. We like all the same different things.
Yeah.
Sexual preference doesn't count towards anything. So, but again, we all have our different likes and our interests, and especially niches. And well, movies have that same thing too. So what can you say?
It's the gift that keeps on giving, man.
No.
I love this guy.
You saw it too. He's just like, God
and like this. Push the button, Brian, because you know what he's going to do.
It's coming. It's coming.
Speaking of controversy, let's talk about movies. That's always controversial.
Do it.
Oh yeah, controversy. That's what they call Hollywood, in the movies.
Or TMZ.
We live for controversy.
Just the Oscars.
Hey, we are actually down to 3-4 weeks, I think, or whatever. And
Not that far
I
away.
still need to catch up on my Oscar movies.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Mom and Dad are coming to town this week, and I'll have plenty of time for that. Yeah. So let's start with our weekend box office. Any guesses, boys, as to what came in first place?
Is American Sniper still up there somewhere?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Bradley, it was.
Ooh.
Yeah. And here it is. Yeah. American Sniper came in easily first again. Yay. Did you get a chance to see it?
Get around to it. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, it brought in about, $31.8 million for a 3-day frame. 26.7 of that was on Friday and Saturday alone. That gives the Clint Eastwood drama the highest total ever for a Super Bowl weekend. Previous was 31.1 million. Any guesses where this came from? Yeah.
Toy Story.
Not even close, but you are in the right mindset of a Disney character, though. And believe me, she's quite a character. Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus, the Best of Both Worlds concert tour in 2008. Yeah, whatever.
We have no soul.
Yeah.
No, we have no soul. That's okay. Anywho, moving into things that are more important. Let's talk about something that was more important in the
Crack whores. Oh, no. You mean trailer commercials?
Yeah, trailer commercials. So,
Hey.
yay. We did touch on it last week, and let's face it, us three, we watch trailers.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not as much as me, but hey, that's okay. But most
We don't have that much time at work.
Actually, I'm following in your footsteps. I got all the free time.
Let's face it, Joe Schmo, average Joe, never really watches trailers until they actually come on my cable box, and oh my God, I saw that giant dinosaur and that Vin Diesel, he's jumping cars like Kit and Knight Rider.
Is that
Holy
Kate
ass.
Upton there going down to fight Thousand Nation Army there?
Oh my God, that George Clooney's in another movie again. The Minions.
Yeah, the Minions.
Oh, and whatever that chick is with the short hair.
Banana.
I don't know why that's still funny.
I have no idea. Anyway, though, there's a lot of trailers and only so much time, so I'm only going to cover the ones that really were important.
Yeah, true.
Let's start with Jurassic World. For those of you that didn't see it, pretty much
They're making another one.
They're making another one. Go figure that. So it is picking up. The park is opened. We've talked about it before, but we'll recap anyway. The park is opened. Everything is working. And guess what? Star-Lord's in it, along with Bryce Dallas Howard, who happens to be Ron Howard's actual
Star-Lord is trading
daughter.
raptors.
And
Star-Lord traded in his bounties, and now
Star-Lord
he's
traded in his raptors for what could
Entertainment purposes.
What could be one of the ugliest vests since I don't know who wore a vest that I can think of. I don't know. Don Johnson, Nash Bridges. There we go. That's going all the way back there. He is trying to pull like a cross between
Dr. Johnson.
It's Alan Grant meets Malcolm.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
what it
much.
is.
Pretty much.
With the personality of Malcolm. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. And it's just, if he has the hat in there, which I would bet my money
Probably
that
at the
he will
beginning,
have a hat. He will have the Dr. Grant hat in there or something in there. He'll probably see it. Whatever cap is. Anyway, he will have that hat in there. Mark my words right now. I'm calling it. And you'll probably
Right at
see...
the beginning, you know it will.
You'll probably see like the hat in the ground of the park or whatever. Be like, something's not right here. Oh, yeah, you created a dinosaur. That can't be good. And just anything like that.
Sums it up right there.
That comment, and Bradley's like, yeah, that's giving away the whole movie.
That
and,
is.
And
it just
we
sums
know
it up.
We know
made a
what's
new
gonna
dinosaur.
happen. Yeah.
Why?
Why, Mr. Anderson? Why would you create another dinosaur?
That sounds like a terrible idea.
Because life
Finds a way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just didn't listen to me, and they didn't want to put me in sequel, but they're going to put me in Independence Day forever? Another story for another time. It just, the whole training of the Raptors, I can get down with that. It's pretty cool in theory.
It's in theory, but it's like in practice, it's like this is just going to look so silly and it's going to be a meme by tomorrow.
yeah. And it's like, all right, we got to go hunt this dinosaur. It'd be like,
Comes out on the motorcycle. Raptors.
Star-Lord and his dancing raptors.
and it's just, I don't know. It's just like, okay, you're going to go in this direction, or you're going more you're going to try to take yourself seriously,
but
you're digging a ditch. You're just,
You're taking it for yourself.
it's going to be one of those kind of movies that has humor in places they didn't want to.
Exactly.
Whatever. when they were supposed to take themselves seriously, and just I can't take Chris Pratt seriously. I like the guy,
It's fine if he does his little comedy bits, those little one-liners. It worked. It worked in Guardians. I
Right.
just don't see it
I
far.
took Vince Vaughn more seriously in Jurassic Park 3 than I am taking him. I'm just saying, though, okay? Overall, though, it'd be like, all right, guys, be quiet. She's a little nervous. And then all of a sudden comes out the big Loch Ness monster with it catching the shark or whatever.
Oh, that'd be a cook for
Yeah.
first lose five. Yeah, shut up.
Whatever. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, seeing the lady picked up by the, was it pterodactyl? That was pretty cool. I meant that. I got a dark sense of humor, I guess. But
I'm trying to figure out why they did that.
I don't know.
There's no context like they were fine domesticated, but now they're like, oh, something's going down. Let's start picking up bitches.
I guess we'll have to hear the backstory itself on the new company that owns InGen and how they made the
now the story is that the guy, what's his name? He was the Asian guy, the scientist who was doing the whole
right.
You bred raptors? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that
BD
guy.
Wong.
BD Wong is actually going to be back in this or whatever, so he'll probably play a significant role in that, I would imagine. We haven't seen him in the trailers, but there's a lot of talk about what he's going to be doing in there, so we can only speculate as to right now. Moving on, Tomorrowland. Did you guys have a chance to get to see that trailer?
Did not.
Okay, so it's not the Tomorrowland you're thinking of, JR, Disney, even though Disney is producing it. This is a different kind.
Yeah.
Brad Bird, you've heard of the name, okay? Director of The Incredibles, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. So it's talking about like a girl who's probably, what do you say, Bradley? Maybe like 18, give or take, or whatever.
Roughly around that
kind of
late
seems like
teenage.
she's got like the whole juvie record kind of thing or whatever. There's a pin in there. It has a T on it. She touches it and just takes her to the whole other world.
Yeah, I did see
It
the
takes her
trailer.
to this whole other world.
It's the future. You could do what you want.
What if there
here.
was a world where you could do whatever you wanted?
What you thought was great? It's like, okay.
Want to go? Because I'm George Clooney.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm George Clooney playing
George
George Clooney.
Puts on the vest and it
Yeah.
ends. I'm like, what just happened?
Overall, the CGI from what I saw in there, I mean, I'm getting pickier about CGI, even though I don't like CGI.
Oh, you have to.
I mean, it
It can be too over. It's when it's done
It's
well.
written by Brad Bird, and like we said, the guy who did Lost, Damon Lindelof, and but he also did Prometheus, which I heard was a little, whatever. We can go past that, but
2.5 hours of my life I'll never get back.
yeah, but
Didn't explain anything.
we can. I mean, this looks like it's probably one of the kind of like what. He's pulling like a J.J. Abrams, like, what is Tomorrowland? And they're only giving me these teasers. I like that. They're not giving away the whole movie. Maybe as time goes by, they will, show us a little bit more, but just like,
What's
okay.
the conflict?
I'm
Where's that
very
guy?
curious as to what this movie is about. There's not too much to decide. George Clooney is just in there. Hugh Laurie is playing a villain in there, House. So, it could be pretty good. So we'll keep our minds open on that one. Kingsman. I actually missed the screening tonight just to be with you boys because I really didn't feel like driving all the way to DC just an hour just to get in line again or whatever. No.
It's
but
more important.
This movie, this could be a really good movie. Matthew Vaughn, director of Kick-Ass and X-Men First Class.
I got to admit, the only thing I'm still confused about that whole movie, of all the people you picked to do the bad guy with all these Brits running around, Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
And then the Japanese assassin chick who's running on prosthetic legs that only like world class sprinters run on, and I'm just like,
I must have missed that part.
I missed that part. Yeah.
it's different, but I'm like Samuel L. Jackson and all these Brits. Where does
Samuel Jackson versus the
it's
Brits.
going to be a rated R movie.
Yeah.
For those of you didn't know that, so I say that's a good sign. All things considered, he left X-Men: Days of Future Past to do this movie, so it had to be a passion project or whatever. Or Fox has given him that much leeway. I think it's 20th Century Fox. Yeah, it's Colin Firth, a guy who looks like the next what's the guy who does the Magic Mike?
Channing Tatum?
He looks like a
Tatum.
young British Channing Tatum in my mind right now. Oh my God, this is a shoe that you used in From Russia with Love, and we're still ripping it off James Bond right about this time.
It's actually
Bastards.
it's actually
Yeah,
a grenade.
they literally
No way.
they're really ripping it off.
Yeah, they are.
And
It's
anybody
like-
who goes back and watch, and that's all the way from 1963. So come on, it's not. It's had its time. Whatever they did in The Dark Knight, also when Christopher Nolan was ripping off Bond. Then people were going to rip off Bond. That's fine, and they're comparing it to Bond, saying this is the new age James Bond. It's cooler than Bond. Maybe I'm a
No,
little,
that's what-
pissy about that.
That's because you got Samuel Mutt Jackson, man.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, and
I am tired of these damn Brits on this damn plane.
Hold on to your butts.
exactly, because we don't know what's about to happen with Kingsman.
True, yeah.
It's either going to be great or it's going to be crap. That's what I can say about it right now. So, I mean,
Probably good to see you drunk.
yeah, pretty much. Minions. Had a chance to see this. I thought the trailer was kind of cute. I mean, there's no other way to phrase
Yeah,
it.
it's Minions. I mean,
it's
you know what
Minions, and just I don't know, Minions being Minions. And
I don't know why it's so funny.
I don't know. It's just, I mean, and that's what everybody likes. Nobody's going to remember the whole Despicable Me part with Steve Carell. There, it's always just
That's
the
why the
Minions.
Minions, yeah.
The chicks dig the Minions guys, so go take them to the Minions movie. Okay, I mean, they're around. It's kind of like their.
It's a stupid
It's their pre-backstory, I guess you could say, how they came to be, and then they follow the likes of Sandra Bullock, who's going to be a villain at that time, and then just kind of goes with that. So, if it's going to be lots of like that,
All talking baby talk.
yeah, pretty much. And after a while, you kind of do get to understand what they're saying. At least I have anyway. So,
I've been watching the trailer way too many times.
yeah, I only watched it twice, but Insurgent. Don't know if any of you guys saw Divergent. Exactly, it's a ripoff of
Hunger Games,
which would be a ripoff of Running Man.
Yes, it is.
Welcome to Twilight with violence.
And
Basically.
all it is, and I saw in the
Everybody's ripping
trailer,
off each
is
other.
she's just falling. That's pretty much all she's doing in the trailer. She's just like having just the worst CGI Matrix kind of falling. It's like a Trinity out of Matrix Reloaded.
It's a slow motion
But yeah, yeah, which I think was done way better, and that was done in 2003.
Yeah, that was. Wow.
Yeah, it's the chick that was in The Fault in Our Stars. She's back along with the rest of the cast, and Kate Winslet is in that. And unless she's about to do another titty shot, then I really don't give a damn. And even if she did, I probably wouldn't care. But and I have no interest in these kind of movies. It just
Because
I'm
young
sorry,
adult
for
films
those of you that
turn
listen to this, it just any Twilight kind of thing. Just
No,
or if you're going to rip something off, at least do it a little bit better or whatever.
That's because the studios see Hunger Games. We need to do everybody fund a really popular young adult series.
We
and make a
need
movie.
to rip all of them off now.
Yeah. It just, the same thing happened with Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and those times or
everyone
whatever.
had the
comic
rip-offs
book
of-
movies. It's happening.
When Star Wars came out, how many freaking sci-fi films were made in space?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to continue to happen. They had the Maze Runner. We didn't talk about that. We're not going to talk about the Seventh Son because they're all big pieces of crap. And Jeff Bridges, I used to respect you, but God damn, man, you got to get rid of these crazy accents that he's doing. I don't know.
I don't know. It kind of seems like every one he's in now, he just does that same kind of Southern thing from True Grit. Everyone, I don't reckon I know what I'm doing right now.
He either plays two
That's
characters.
fine.
He'll play that, or he'll just do the dude.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. There was even that commercial during the Super Bowl where he was like, I know we missed it, but I went back online. There was just him, just like Jeff Bridges, seeing stuff. And it's just him just going, oh.
Yeah, the dude oblige.
Yeah. So anyway, that's that. Hot Tub Time Machine 2. Never saw the first one, but
Let's go back to the 80s.
Yeah, they had John Cusack in the original. He's not coming back, so in my mind, it's just like,
Yeah.
Pretty sure he said the same thing. You guys want to
Yeah.
make a sequel? This is a straight to
It's-
Walmart bargain bin. What the
Yeah,
hell?
it's
Yeah.
that's what they do. But when you get one of those, they're like, "Oh, this was good. Let's do everything else." Come on, they did it for freaking waiting. It was like, it was okay for laugh. Let's make a second one. Why?
what? Didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
and
Anyway,
a third one. What?
yeah. Anyway, moving on with trailers here. I saved the best for last. At least I consider it the best. Anyway, Furious 7. They had
jumping buildings in Dubai.
so we're picking up exactly where we left off in Fast and Furious 6, and the whole was it Jason Statham? Yeah, he's going to be. He's like, Dominic, you can do the bed. I'm trying here. Okay,
Dominic Toretto, you don't know me,
but you will. Yeah. One last ride. Hey, we could play off each other. This could be pretty
I
fun.
still like that one though. Just with in the trailer though with Rock and the Armcast.
Yeah.
Daddy's got to go to work.
And then he was pulling a Terminator 2 with that Gatling gun. Cars.
They're pulling it all out.
Cars
going all
jumping, or no, actually parachuting out of the planes. Paul Walker jumping onto the back of a Challenger as Michelle Rodriguez drives that. Boy, she does look great.
She can drive a stick anytime.
You have Jordana Brewster. What's her name? Ronda Rousey popped in there all of a sudden in a girl fight, and I didn't understand what. I didn't know she was going to be in this movie. Not surprised. Kurt Russell's in there.
Yeah.
Which I'm a big fan of Kurt Russell. You know, whatever movie, I'll watch it.
He's disappeared since Death Proof, so yeah.
He's going to be in the new Quentin Tarantino movie, though.
Oh, Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Death Proof, Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah,
Same thing. Anyway, this movie they actually released today the 3-minute trailer version. Pretty much a little bit more of what was in there or whatever.
Here's all the best parts in the movie.
Probably.
Oh dear.
I don't got friends. I got family. And they show they show Paul Walker in there, and it's directed by James Wan, who was doing all those horror movies, and he's taking the place of the other guy, and I can't remember his name at this time, but yeah, he was doing the last 4 Fast and Furious movies. So who knows what's going to happen with this? It's either, I know a lot of people are going to see this, and this. How many franchises can you say they've actually gotten better as they went along? I mean, the first 3,
you're just like,
first 3 were just like our first one remake of Point Break, which they're going to be doing another Point Break this year.
I'll be in line waiting for the door.
Yeah,
Point Break, how can you not?
Johnny Bravo. Johnny Utah.
Johnny Utah, that is. Yeah, Johnny Bravo, you ass. They're good. They did Fast and Furious 2, or Too Fast, Too Furious, with Tyrese. And that was,
my God, that was abysmal.
Hey, Fonzie, yeah.
Because, we hungry.
And then number 3, Bow Wow needed a sandwich.
Yeah.
Bow said,
Tokyo
feed
Drift.
me, my rap game ain't what it used to be.
And then Hulkmobile.
The Hulkmobile.
Oh, God.
That's Scion Hulkmobile.
And then number 4 just actually said, hey, we actually could probably make good movies now.
Yeah, it was the start. I mean, it was pretty good, but it was just after they did the whole jailbreak thing, then it was just like, okay, let's make this into a bank heist. Let's do an Ocean's 11 here. Number 6 was just like, let's go kind of a little bit even crazier or whatever. Yeah, let's go to England and
they
that's
got
just
a tank.
Yeah, they get. They had the tank in that one. That's right.
One in that one. Yeah.
Well, this is one I was thinking where they just like took the cars and they just like. Took the plane and just kind of tried to land that or whatever. Just kind of crazy at the very end of that. Yeah, see, it just keeps getting crazy.
How much more stunts can we do involving cars? I want to make as much car porn as I can.
Yeah,
pretty sure this is going to be the money shot and on money shots with this one.
They're bringing the cars and the guy in the back's just going. Oh.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, that was me. No, that was
What
me.
is the sound of one hand fapping?
Yeah. So anyway, though, it looks to be really good. It's going to continue to be the same crazy over the top. Suspend disbelief, Fast and Furious. It's fun.
Go in knowing exactly what you know you're getting
Suspend
into.
disbelief. That's what these movies are good, and it's the whole mixed cultures in there too. I mean,
Go in there with no expectations. Yeah, you're saying.
No, I think everybody's got the same expectations. It's a good popcorn summer flick.
Chase scenes, explosions, hot broads. Okay.
Yeah.
And Michael Bay is already jizzing.
Why didn't I think of this?
I could have done this with Transformers.
Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, as I move on here, okay, we didn't talk about this, and last week, and somebody told me about this, so I'll give myself the.
Yeah, you did. You forgot.
The Fantastic Four trailer. Did any of you guys get to see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It looked like a trailer for Inception.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it at that. It really does.
Actually.
And maybe. I mean, I like. Yeah.
You're doing
like
a
Inception. But it just.
You're doing a whole new reboot.
I like trailers that at least give you even a faint glimmer of what a movie could potentially sort of be.
It's like, where are you going with this?
This gave you nothing.
That's
all you
good,
know
though.
is-
I like that, though. It just gave you just enough or whatever, but...
Didn't even give you enough. It was like, oh, there's the thing's back.
Yeah.
And Torch.
Okay.
And you
But do you
might
want
see
them to
Mr.
give you-
Fantastic stretch for a half second.
But do you want them to give away the whole movie like most trailers do?
No,
You don't have to, but just give
Okay.
a
no, I
premise.
said
It's just saying, it's just
give
like...
me a faint glimmer of
Just give it like
maybe
just
a
like
story.
a
the
minor
Fantastic
setup.
Four
Anything.
here.
Yeah, it's like, here's their origin story. Well, how? I don't understand what's going on.
Oh, you guys. Oh, you pick apart a goddamn
I like-
supermodel on. Never mind. Whatever.
Yeah, I'll pick apart sumo.
Yeah, you would. You really would.
Crack open a
Freaking
cold
Kate
one.
This obviously isn't a supermodel, and we're all entitled to our opinions. The nerds are going to go crazy. Dr. Doom is not going to be Dr. Doom, really. He's just going to be, just who knows, a hacker of some kind or whatever, a web blogger, whatever. But they're going to. It looks to be interesting. It's from the writer of X-Men: Days of Future Past. We all like that movie, so I mean, it can restore a little bit of faith in there. The guy who did Chronicle, it was the director of it. Didn't see it, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. So cast looks pretty good too. So
not bad.
I mean, Kate Mara is good. Michael B. Jordan almost got an Oscar nomination. We'll talk about Michael B. Jordan in a few seconds here. Anyway, just wanted to throw that out there. It's on our website. Check it out. You might like it. The other couple trailers are also on the website too. With by the way, Game Genie, some of your trailers up there too. Anyway, though, so back to business here. We left at the end of 2014 talking about the whole Sony fiasco, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it ended up being pretty bad with the whole co-chair, just all of those emails out there. It was a big mess. And top it off with that, the interview. And after everything is said and done, the interview was just like, it was all right. It wasn't that bad. Was it really worth all that? The old terror attacks and stuff like that.
Nope. Terror just want to get. Yeah, the hacker group just wanted. They wanted. They're like anybody, any trolls the internet. They want attention.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So with that whole Sony hacking scandal, the actual co-chair, Amy Pascal, we might have mentioned her name before, she is actually going to be stepping down, and she's going to go from the co-chair at the position at Sony and moving to a new production venture as of May 2015. As a part of a 4-year deal, Sony will provide financial backing to Pascal's upcoming projects, which will encompass film, television, and theater. She had... I'm not going to say the whole thing, but she said, I've spent most of my entire professional life at Sony Pictures, yada, yada, yada. Pretty much I effed up, and now I'm just stepping down and just getting out of here. Yeah. This could probably be one of the better things to happen to Sony in a while. We have yet to find out what's going to happen with Spider-Man. Don't know if it's going to revert back to Marvel. I mean, January is over. They were supposed to have their whole Spidey thing or whatever. We never heard that. Mostly Sony's movies have been doing mediocre, and I mean, you had the whole interview thing, all those emails saying, why would you release a movie like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo at Christmas time? And just saying Angelina Jolie is yada, yada, yada. She's a spoiled rich bitch and gets whatever she wants and stuff like that. So worse emails than that. So it's just like, and you let probably a really good Oscar contender, while you guys are not a fan of it, the whole new Steve Jobs movie with Michael Fassbender, and you lost some really good talent like Leonardo DiCaprio, Christian Bale, even David Fincher, who could have directed that movie and just went to a different studio. And now that studio has already begun production on that movie. So it's just like, okay, well, you know what? Get out of here. Maybe we can, start our company and go back to when we were actually making good movies.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they're on the track of doing a new Ghostbusters. That's probably the biggest thing out of Sony right about now. Take that for what it's worth, though. So, yeah, and then some. J.J. Abrams was talking a little bit of Star Wars. He's been, going to the awards festivals, and he's keeping quiet about this, but he did, talk a little bit about the whole lightsaber thing, though, too. That new lightsaber that nerds are going pretty much...
Claymore, basically.
They're pretty much going... Yeah.
I'm fine with it. I am. I'm fine with it. Deal with it, nerds.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. He said, and I quote, I will say what's... God damn. Okay, let's try it again. I will say that what's been funny is since the lightsabers come out, I cannot tell you how many contradictory emails I've received from people who have both defended and unbelievably detailed graphics. I've gotten things that are nuts, and I've gotten people who've shown how it'll kill you, and how it doesn't make any sense. It's been the funniest thing to see the arguments that have developed over this thing.
He's probably just sitting there just like laughing as he's going through the emails.
Yeah.
Sitting on his piles of money.
He also said that it was a number of conversations that led to this design. It was a sketch that became a whole thing, and this was done without a lot of conversation. It's fun to see what people have conversation, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
He said that it's actually one sequence, so it's not a ton of IMAX footage, but it's a good sequence. And he's talking about this lightsaber sequence or whatever. So we all know that I'm a fan of IMAX, and, that's great.
I know where I'm going. We're going to see the film.
We're going to go find a big IMAX. I'm taking the next day off work, maybe two. I haven't decided yet.
Sees it twice, 3 times.
When he was talking about practical effects, going back to the kind of old school, more not using CG to remove things, and said, Adam, he said, I feel like the beauty of this age of filmmaking is that there are more tools at your disposal, but it doesn't mean that any of these new tools are automatically the right tools. And there are a lot of situations where we went very much old school, and in fact use CGI or use CG more to remove things than to add things. Let's see what he had to say on here. He was talking about, they're talking about episode 8 and episode 9. I wouldn't say 8 and 9 are my baby. There's going to be a new director for that, and his name is Rain Johnson. I wouldn't say 8 and 9 are my baby. Rain will be working at least on 8, but I'm executive producing those films. Yeah. So he went on to talk a little bit more about that. So anyway, though, who knows what's going to happen with this new Star Wars movie? We can only speculate right now and nitpick a teaser trailer that was only a year out or whatever.
Still good, looking good to me.
I liked it, and the more I watch it, the more I like it, though, too. So,
to me, it's going in the right direction. It's sticking to what it looks like. Looks like Star Wars to me.
It looked, different angles maybe or different.
True.
People might not like that though too.
The different angles, like the different cinematic shots, I guess, compared to, because if you really think about it, going back to the original Star Wars, and I know people have pointed out, we're talking episode 4, 5, and 6.
Right.
Let's be honest, that was a fluke, really. What it was, George Lucas just got lucky. And then he was like, let's make the ones that I really want to make. And that's we got episode 1, 2, and 3. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now they haven't gone back to him just for that.
So
and, while he's upset, he made a ton of money, and and that's fine. And look what he did with Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. He shot down a Frank Darabont script, just so he could do that. And it's just like, dude,
Crystal Skull is the reason I didn't buy the Indiana Jones box set on sale the other day.
I had thought about it, and I just, you can't even eBay that movie. You just
you
can't
just
do
look
it.
at it's like, no.
Yeah. So, who's to say what's going to happen with that? Anyway, I got to move on here. I'm sorry. Ryan Reynolds is talking once more about Deadpool, and he's comparing it with
bananas. Eat some bananas.
Banana?
Of course, how could I forget? He explains how Deadpool will avoid the same fate as Green Lantern. You gotta love this. When talking with Yahoo about this, he said, script. When we shot Green Lantern, nobody auditioned for the role of Green Lantern and was given the opportunity to read the script because the script didn't exist. I'm not complaining about it. It was an opportunity of a lifetime, and if I were to go back and retrace my steps, I would probably do everything the exact same way. But script, that's what's different on this one. We've had a script for 3 years. The script got leaked, and people even loved that. That says a lot, even if you create a script around a comic book character that is directly within the canon of the character and be embraced. That's a huge step in the right direction. I've since learned that a lot of superhero movies don't have a fully functioning draft of the screenplay ready until they've already been into shooting. So, once again, this guy's pouring his heart and soul in this. He's aware that he messed up. And you know what? In the end, you really can't just blame him for that or whatever.
If they didn't have a script to work with.
And blame.
Even so,
it's like you make it up as you go.
DC comic book character is probably one of the bigger ones out there, and of course, it's a paycheck at the same time. So at the end
of the day, it's like I got my money, I got paid.
Yeah, and but at the end of the day, you're also like, I really went back and did this movie, and I really regret it. George Clooney in Batman and Robin. Ben Affleck and Daredevil, even, and you see that kind of trend, but they can go on to redeem themselves or whatever. Easily. If they really have a passion project for the character, then they will do it right. So here's to that. Couple other things here. John Wick 2 is said to be in development.
Yes.
Now, this was only through this was talking to the current directors, Chad Stahelski and David Leitch. They're in development. They were saying that they have a whole bunch of different stories they could do, and they said they can turn up the action if they want to, or whatever. I don't know how.
More gung fu.
It's
just
I'm guilty.
Matrix to Reloaded style of just action.
I'm guilty of rewatching the movie this week and just stopping everything I'm doing just to go to Redbox, and I'm just like, this is still great.
Dude, I bought the damn thing. I watched it 4 times.
Oh, I'm ready to. And it's just we've talked about before. There's so much that they can do with this world.
Oh, there's so much. Yeah, the world is set up.
Could they? I mean, if I had it my way, I mean, just go back and just show John Wick when he was really doing not the whole revenge thing, or just saying when he was
actually
maybe
working.
I guess if you want to say on his missions, or you could just say
impossible task that he had to do to get out of the business.
Exactly. That's what I was just thinking. What did he have to do for the Russian?
When they said, that he did one last job for the Russian, and he said, "I'm out."
Nobody
after that.
could be able to do.
Yeah, that one they built up the hype.
The Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman. He is the one who killed the Boogeyman.
Yeah. So we don't even know if Keanu Reeves is going to be in it. I don't know how they could not do it without him. But, I mean, other movies have. If what I read, if Keanu Reeves isn't in it, then it's probably going to be one of those direct-to-DVD things.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be that way. I just really, I want them to do it justice or whatever. But they are working with Keanu Reeves on, I think it's a Cinemax or HBO kind of thing or whatever. And so if they're working like that and they're talking about a sequel, then hey, let's hope that, let's keep our fingers crossed that something's going to happen there. Couple rumors here. Star Trek 3 is, well, this isn't a rumor. Star Trek 3 is going to happen. Star Trek. Damn it! Getting a little tired. I wonder why, James. Star Trek 3 is to begin filming in April. Bryan Cranston rumored for villain. I could see it, but a lot of nerds, of course, are like, no, get rid of this, this action-packed Star Trek because it's coming too much like Star Wars and stuff, and just Bryan Cranston can't play alien or anything like that. And then all of a sudden you heard,
don't have to,
bitch, he's gonna be an alien.
Just call Saul.
Yeah.
How good you Klingon.
Oh God. The fact that you brought that up. Okay, Magic Mike XXL trailer. How could I forget about this? Oh yeah. All right. So I never saw the original Magic Mike. Okay. I watched the trailer for the original Magic Mike right before I watched this one. I'm like, it was directed by Steve Soderbergh, who I have respect for. He did the Ocean's movies. He did Aaron Brockovich. He's done a couple other movies before that are, really well. Contagion. He did that movie, if you guys ever saw that.
Yeah.
He's very credible. He even did the Girlfriend Experience with Sasha Grey. Now, that one I haven't had a chance to see. But, I definitely wouldn't mind seeing that.
Knowing what she does. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there she is.
There's about 7 more of that later in the film.
Yeah, slightly. So Magic Mike was about the story of Channing Tatum being Channing Tatum, guy stripping, and brought back memories of me at Thunder Down Under. Now,
that's why I said no comment, because I knew you'd take it there.
Now, having said that, when I saw the trailer for Magic Mike XXL, it's about Magic Mike returning, doing one last thing with all his boys from the strip club. Matthew McConaughey won't be returning. The guy, Joe Magnolia or whatever, he's the guy that's in True Blood, and he's been in a whole bunch of other things before, though, too.
He's the guy who's stupping Sofia Vergara.
Yeah, that's the guy. He's actually going to be in it. He was actually in the first one, as a matter of fact, though, too. So they're going around to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, of all places, actually, and to a couple other places, just doing this whole strip competition thing or whatever. So it really
ladies, you are welcome.
Yeah, it's got Amber Heard in there, which of course, I'm like, okay, I could get into this or whatever. I'll make the sacrifice. I'll watch this one instead of 50 Shades of Nothing. And,
oh, ladies are going to be so disappointed.
I'd just rather stay at home and read a book instead.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing this just for that, but when I see this guy dancing, I'm like, no.
The memories come back.
No.
It flaps in his face.
Guys on trampolines dancing and humping girls and just G-strings. No, but hey, for you ladies that are into that, hey, why not?
Ladies, you're welcome.
I will end off on this, and we never really talked about it, but it really is going to happen. Like I said, Michael B. Jordan, if you don't know the name, he's in a movie called Fruitvale Station. He's going to be Johnny Blaze in the new Fantastic Four movie. Mm-hmm. He is also going to be the grandson of Apollo Creed.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to be doing the Creed spinoff, or a Rocky spinoff called Creed. It's set now for a Thanksgiving release.
And guess who's going to play his trainer?
Go ahead, Rock. Where you been, Rock?
Hey, yo.
You just got to know how much you take a hit.
I've just been down with too many steroids and everything.
And the
man.
Expendables movie wasn't working out for me. You know.
I was going to do
Gotta pay for that
Expendables
facelift again.
4, but, Steven Seagal broke my arm.
So if this works out better than Rocky 5, then we're in luck. I liked Rocky Balboa. I thought that was a great movie.
Yeah.
Really great movie. Hopefully it goes in the same kind of way. We'll see what happens there. Don't know yet. No word on the trailer, but when we have something to report, we will, of course. Last thing, Point Break remake. Yes. I don't want to talk about it. Never mind. I'm out, everybody. It's been pushed to Christmas. That's all I got. Anyway,
Lordy.
recommendations for the week, gentlemen. Go.
Force is strong with this Humble Bundle. My God, this has to be probably the best Humble Bundle we've seen in a while.
Stop talking about my junk like that, Bradley.
Terrible. You had to go there, dude. I'm making Star Wars.
So humble.
Yeah.
But no, seriously.
It's a bundle.
The humble Star Wars bundle out there. My God, ladies and gentlemen, for $1, you can get Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, and Star Wars Dark Forces. If you pay more than the average, which right now at the moment is $11.47 at the time of recording, which is still, that's pretty high up there for normal averages, but still, you also get those plus Star Wars Battlefront 2, Knights of the Old Republic 2, Star Wars Republic Commando, as well as more coming down the line because they usually run these for about 2 weeks, so next week you find more. But if you do pay the premium price, which is $12, case in point, while it's like 11 up there because everybody's playing the premium, you get all that and the games down the line, plus Empire at War Gold Pack, which is the really good real-time strategy game and includes all the expansion packs, and also Star Wars Force Unleashed 1 and 2 as well.
I'll buy that for $1.
Seriously.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, seriously. If you just pay $1, Knights of the Old Republic alone, the amazing game from BioWare, the guys who made Mass Effect, Knights of the Old Republic, Jedi Knight Academy, and Dark Forces. Holy Jesus. Again, this is all goes through Steam and you get Windows games, but still, for $12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus more. Seriously. How do you not foresee this?
Don't think we need to get Brad anything for Christmas. He got it
No.
right there.
I'm done. So,
I think we need to get him a tissue.
Get him a towel.
Yeah. Humble Star Wars bundle on humblebundle.com. Yes, totally.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd go for it. It's a little ways away, but tickets are available as we speak. Motley Crue.
Oh.
Their
I thought he was going to
It's
talk
the
about
last tour, if I'm not mistaken.
He's gonna talk about spring training here. Never
very
mind.
last ever appearance in Baltimore, August 26th at the Royal Farms Arena. Tickets are on sale now. They have signed their cessation of performance contract, so they are not allowed to perform as a group ever again. Get your tickets for this historical show.
And how much are they going for?
Depends how much you really like the band and where you want to sit.
So starting at like $120.
Nosebleeds were about in the 40 to 50 range.
Yeah,
and
not bad.
if you're trying to get to the floor, that's kind of more like $300 to $700.
Can I say I cannot do you on that though. Billy Joel at M&T Bank Stadium.
You're the piano man.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on your taste of music.
I guess so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, recommendations for me in movies. Jupiter Ascending is out. It's from the Wachowski siblings, no longer brothers, because one of them has had a change.
They had a Bruce Jenner.
Yeah.
Seems to be a running trend throughout tonight.
Last time I checked, it was 36% on Rotten Tomatoes. So you could either have your choice of that or the SpongeBob Out of Water movie. I suggest go rent John Wick and watch it 4 times like JR did. Yeah. Yeah, there's really not too much to out in theaters. If you want to go watch
Well, the
American
Wachowski
Sniper,
brothers
if you haven't
still
seen
can
it
get
at
the
all,
Matrix.
go catch up on your Oscar movies. That's about all I can say for that. So yeah, that's about it. Yep. So in the meantime, check us out at thebanteringbos.com. There you will find links to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. There. Nice and quick. Okay.
There you go.
can just click on the button, and then that's it. Oh, you can click on Apple iTunes, too, and then give us a 5-star review. Oh, yeah. We actually pushed that on Twitter and Facebook this week. Had to. Got to get our name out there and whore ourselves
Selfless
out.
plugging away.
I am a
Shameless
whore.
plugging.
I'm a man whore, Bradley. Didn't you hear?
Yeah, I know. You
Yeah.
did see Magic Mike. And you didn't want to get a thunder from down under. Zing!
That's the way to end it right there.
I got nothing. James, you have a great week. You,
sir.
Eat my shorts.
Mr. Bradley.
Thank you.
Everybody have a great week. Thanks for listening. As always, we will check you next time. Peace out.
Deuces.